sequin and bead, and then we applied those motifs to garments and they took off. We have a big market, so basically the demand for the women to have small work created the product, you might say.
These women made the best of the opportunity. Demand for their products kept on increasing. The project created excitement amongst the villagers. Many other village women approached Nileema for work opportunities.
During a meeting with 500 women, I asked them what businesses we could undertake. There were numerous responses. They could make candles, incense sticks, phenyl, and so on. This list was of no use to the women who toiled in the fields. This is all for educated women. Is there anything that we can do? They asked. We only know how to make quills out of rags. They felt embarrassed when others burst into laughter. They did not know what was there to laugh about. In support of their statement, I said, why not? We can sell quilts too. Let us set up a project for quilt making. They couldn't believe, but their response led to the project of quilt making.
All dreamers initially face ridicule. Later, they become guiding lights like the North Star. Hands accustomed to working under the scorching sun started skillfully weaving new patterns. Places such as temple courtyards and home terraces became quilt-making centers. Around the same time, an order for 100 quilts arrived from Germany. This created a lot more enthusiasm. But the excitement didn't last long. The order was cancelled since the women were unable to deliver the specified design patterns. But they were not deterred. They continued the work with the same vigor as before.
One day, Annie visited us when our women were making quilts for the local market. She wanted to know what this new project was all about. Once she understood that we were not making and selling these quilts locally, she asked if we could make them for her. Why not? But I would like to warn you in advance, I responded. Then I told her about the fiasco of the German order. Annie said, no problem. I am a designer. I will provide designs and also the necessary training to these women. She then taught the women lots of craft techniques and gave them some useful hints. Thus empowered, the women started coming out of their own designs. Annie was excited with these creative designs. She remarked, these rural women have lots of potential.
Nileema recognized the strengths of the women and created more opportunities for them. Their quilts started providing warmth to persons in faraway countries.
Wonderful quilts, we make them from baby size up to queen size. And everybody in the West wants a quilt, handmade quilt. And when they see that label, that it's been made by the women who, it's supporting women in the rural areas of India who either were sick, who had no other chance of income, they want to buy that quilt. Not only because it's beautiful, but because of who made it. And this is the key. So many women in the West want to support these type of projects.
We'll be importing all these products directly from India and wholesaling them to stores throughout Europe, as well as selling them directly on the web. So I think the potential is huge. And because of this model where people feel like they're supporting and they're helping, it's possible that it could spread everywhere, really.
While the products of some women were reaching foreign shores, a few other women were selling seasonal produce in nearby villages under the scorching sun. Their entire day's work was generating only a meager profit. They came to Didi for advice.
They presented their problems to me. We go from one village to another, selling our goods. Our produce is seasonal. So in winter, when people make laddus, we sell them gum, dates, methi, coconut. Then it is the beginning of the spice season. Thereafter we sell mangoes, bananas, puffed rice and roasted grams. Our schedule varies with seasons. Since the quantity is small, we purchase it from a nearby town and sell it in surrounding villages. Now we have a major problem. Since there is no rain, we are short of money. We guided them to form a rural business women's association and procure finances for their activities.
We did not have any funds to begin with, but Didi procured the funds from other association and we started the work.
Having adequate funds, the women started buying raw material in large quantities at wholesale rates. With the larger quantities, they could cover more villages and their earnings jumped to 200 rupees a day from a meager 50 rupees a day.
Now they purchase goods on a truckload basis with turnover in lakhs of rupees. This was possible only due to availability of funds on time.
Later, these women requested us to procure raw materials for them. They promised to buy it from us, as per their need on a smaller scale with a margin of 2 to 3 rupees per kilo. It took a little time to accept these suggestions, but in the end, I was convinced and implemented the idea.
Providing purchase facility along with funds helped many needy women become self-employed.
Dried dates, coconut, cumin seeds and turmeric. We used to sell small quantities of these. We never thought we would set up a successful business. Support from Didi's organization made this possible.
We now have an economy supported by infrastructure. Earlier, Didi faced problems arising out of misery and desolation. Now she faces different challenges altogether. The expanding scope of women's business, inventory management, storage problems, space requirements.
Nimish Bhaisha from Caring Friends visited us and witnessed the situation. He advised us to buy our own land within the town of Parola and construct a warehouse. He promised and provided requisite funds for the purpose. The construction of a warehouse is now underway. From the new facility, we will be able to supply raw materials to as many as 350 women.
Drying spiced dumplings and papads in the sun. A simple business. Hundreds of hands have now joined together to harness the blistering heat into the moonlight of happiness. This joy enhanced the taste of the dumplings.
We take dried split peas from here, clean and soak them in the water for the night. At 5 o'clock in the morning, we wash them and come to Didi's place to have them grounded in a grinding mill. We take it home and finish preparing dumplings by 10 o'clock. In the late afternoon, we bring the dried dumplings to Didi's organization. In the process, we earn 50 rupees every day. Once we made the dumplings weighing almost 25 kilos. We told Didi that we shall sell these in nearby villages and then report back to her. We managed to collect almost 600 rupees from the sale. We reported this to Didi. She was very happy. We told her that our transportation cost was only 4 rupees. Didi encouraged us to prepare dumplings in bigger quantities. Finally, we reached an output of 1 quintal. It has provided employment to more than 50 women.
Now the women have acquired marketing skills. Once mired in misery, they have now blossomed into pleasant personalities. They are working hard, not just for money, but to reach the higher peaks of satisfaction. Financial insecurity has vanished from their lives. They are progressing on this new road with confidence, expecting more from themselves.
Some need money for children's education, some for buying a house, some for constructing one.
In the Diamond Jubilee year of the Democratic Progressive State of Maharashtra, women's empowerment has given rise to new voices. These voices are now asking questions.
Do you expect people below poverty line to remain there? Though I am doing manual labor, I do not want my son to do it. I would educate him and let him find a decent employment.
This questioning attitude of the impoverished is the beginning of their empowerment. To achieve this, Didi goes to the root of the problem and utilizes the strength emanating from the very problem to find a solution. Help yourself, shake off dependency, and learn to support others. Look beyond yourself.
Didi showed us the way. Thinking only of oneself does not lead to progress. We can go ahead only if we join hands with others. This is the way women can empower themselves.
While helping villagers achieve economic independence, Nileema also had to face failures. One such failure was a dairy project. This happened due to the shortcomings in a government scheme. Nileema had funded a milk collection center and provided work to jobless youth. A milking cow stops producing milk after 6 months. It then becomes uneconomical for a poor farmer to feed and maintain this livestock. The project thus collapsed after the milk production stopped.
We tried a lot to help farmers to get another cow or a buffalo, but there was no government scheme for this. In the end, our efforts failed.